Hello, everybody, and welcome to Anime Gaiden. I'm Steven.
I'm Christina.
And today we are going to talk about Gachiakuta and Rent-a-Girlfriend Season 4. So, first, I just want to dive into Gachiakuta. No, I'm kidding. Gachiakuta. Anyway, Gachiakuta, it's different, right? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Tell me your thoughts.
Well, I can't pronounce the name, so I call it the trash anime.
Which is so, like, both true and not, because, like, yeah, there's a big symbolism of trash. It's a lot about trash, but, like, it's not trash.
It's not bad. It's actually quite interesting so far. But yeah, because I can't pronounce the name, I just call it the trash one. And everyone instantly knows what I'm talking about. I like it. It's different.
My favorite thing right away. So, like, I thought the symbolism that they show right off the bat of the super clean city versus the sharp contrast with the slums, they did a really good job of that by making the city pristine, all white, all this stuff. Like, that was all cool. Kind of caught my attention, but I wasn't sure. I don't know if I'm going to like this one. And then season 2, episode 2 or 3, you get the plunger fight. And I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
My man turns a plunger into a proper cosmic or, like, supernatural weapon and is flinging poo at the man the whole time. That was so good. Didn't even realize it. I'm going to give you a quick surmise. Gachiakuta, it's about a child. Like I said, there's duality between these societies. This society called the Sphere that's above the surface. And the people who live there, there's this pristine, very wealthy, dictated, rule-abiding nation where every single time there's any kind of perceived problem with anything, they just throw it up and dispose of it. And they get really mad if anyone touches their garbage because they're like, why would anyone? That's disgusting. Move it on. And then you have the main character, Rudo, who he himself was discarded and then because of some markings on his hand was treated very negatively growing up. So he has a very big soft spot for trash. And trash is a huge symbolism in this in general. Things that are discarded or people that are discarded, right? And it's always like cleaners versus trash, or it's clean society versus slums, or it's everyone versus Rudo.
Yeah, really.
So it's kind of this weird and continuous symbolism. And I like that they have that very obvious through line because they do a lot with it. Like, it's obvious, but it's not blatantly and disgustingly overdone in your face, even though it is everywhere. I actually quite enjoy it. And I think that a lot of people like things that are really deep and have a lot of duality, but they don't really necessarily know why, and it takes them some time to think about it. Not everyone analyzes literature of different kinds at a deep level, so they're like, oh, I really like this, but they have trouble saying why, whereas this one, it's in your face enough that you know why, and anyone could explain why, but not so in your face that it's just kind of redundant and overdone. So Rudo gets discarded because his dad dies. Again, this is a season review up to episode 8, so sorry about spoilers. Same thing with our next anime. We're going to talk about Rent-a-Girlfriend. Heads up. Season 4. Spoilers. So, when we're talking about this one, he gets discarded after being blamed for the death of his adopted dad. He falls down to the trash area below where everyone thinks it's just this endless trash heap and dumpster, to which it is. But there's these monsters made of trash. He gets saved, and we find out that these monsters are created from the trash and accumulated emotions. And the story leans heavily on the idea that any object, if given enough care, will actually get emotion or its own soul, its own power. So if you've seen One Piece, think about when they put a devil fruit into an inanimate object, right? It gets a soul, it gets a power. Kind of like that, but this one's done by me having my little stuffed Pikachu and being like, I love you, Pikachu, until the end of the earth. And then it becomes my personal weapon that has all these spiritual powers and everything else. The more I put into it, the more it gives back and the more powerful it becomes. So that's the idea. But for him, it's these gloves. And these gloves and his attachment to trash allow him to turn anything that is trash into a weapon. And he doesn't really know what he's doing or how to do it. He does it by accident, fighting the big trash monsters. And then he ends up fighting who becomes his mentor and just fucking clobbers him with poopy. So good. It's so good. I love it so much. Just the fact that we go with that. His mentor's name is Zonka, and he's this uppity, really good, hey, I'm better than everybody else, lower level equivalent to a rich kid. We find out that there is a society on the planet that hates the Spherites because they dump their trash everywhere. They don't know the difference between the ones living in the slums and the ones living in the city, so they immediately turn on Rudo again. Surprise, everyone hates Rudo. And then eventually he's picked up by the cleaners. So that's all I need to tell you about the premise of the show to have an idea of what's going on for what we're talking about. But I find it so funny. I love Engine. Engine's kind of cool. He's walking around with his umbrella. That's a bit of a cliche thing, but it's cool. You know, you got Ryu who brings in like the scissor blade fighting. It's pretty
really
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to explore that one a bit more.
Okay, go into it.
No. I mean, I want the show to explore that a bit more. Because I would like to know, because everyone has their special object. How do they get it? Why is that the object that was chosen for them as their weapon?
I think they just kind of choose it for whatever reason. And it's just an object that becomes close to them, and then they end up becoming what they call givers. And that's just somebody who has given all of this to an object, right? And I think for the most part that it kind of is what it is. Like everyone always has, well, lots of people have something that's weird that for whatever reason they cherish. You want to go? Yeah. Christina's going to go on a hiatus to see the baby, so I'll just take you through a little bit of this. But I really, really like it. That's Christina's first experience with the scissor blade. Obviously, there's lots of other anime that I don't really have to name here that use scissor blades. They're very cool in ideas. In fact, I don't think she's realized it, but we're also going to review Rising of Shield Hero, which, again, has another scissor blade character. So it's very cool, but what's important to note is these giver items are not always something that is a weapon. Some people have glasses that allows them to perceive things different or see into people or see the future. And slowly over, Rudo becomes part of the cleaners, which is a team that can be hired to get rid of these trash problems. He gets attacked. I really think that this show's worth looking into. When we're talking about the world building, it goes really into the idea of trash, society discarding things, whether it be people or items. And I honestly think that they do a really good job of exploring this theme without overdoing it or being too redundant and in your face on it. There are some visual choices that are stylized, and I like them. I get why they're doing them. It's for a jarring effect where it gets, as he's falling, you have the snowy TV kind of come in and different things like that. I like it. I feel like there may have been a more unique choice there. A lot of those striking, jarring visual effects that come in here and there are kind of cliche and honestly don't seem to be needed. They're kind of cool too, but I just think at this point that the specific ones they're using are pretty overdone. But what's very interesting about this is we have Rudo, who's a character who just wants to get back at all of society. He wants to get back to the sphere so that way he can take out all of the spherites, both in the slum and not, because of how they've always treated everything like trash and thrown everything out, and that hurts him to his core. Now, we have two options of where this anime could go. It could go in that direction, where we have a darker shonen protagonist that does have this end goal that is maybe not morally just. You know, he's not the Izuka Midoriya. He's not Naruto saving everyone. His goal is to get powerful, save those he cares about, which are presumably the cleaners that he's meeting and becoming friends with now, but take down the spherites who treat everything like it's garbage and needs to be disposed of. In which, honestly, he'd probably be helping the people on the ground, so maybe it's a win-win, right? Or it could be he learns his lesson as he goes and he balances out. Which I honestly think, based on the last couple episodes, I think it's leaning towards that, where he is going to end up being like, oh, I understand this a little bit more. I see this a little bit more. You know, I shouldn't start judging people who are bad as people who treat their items. When we have the raiders come in, he sees these bad people who he doesn't understand how they could become givers because they're bad people. And he's taught the lesson and forced to see that even bad people can care about objects and that not everyone is all good or all bad. So I'm curious to see what's happening with the Black Hand power. I'm curious to see what happens with his gloves, like we mentioned in a specific series. I think that will all be very interesting. Clearly, it's an object that is meant to become a giver object, and in that sense, it's able to pull more out of the person, which is probably why Rudo gets more drained as he uses it more, unlike the other givers. Hard to say. So when we're talking about the janitors, lawkeepers, the cleaners, and those condemned to trash, there's obviously, again, that sharp contrast. I think the series is purposely starting good guys, bad guys, or Rudo being like, I need to get back at these bad guys. I'm going to do something bad to do it. I'm going to become a bad guy to do it. And I think over time, it's really going to bring that into a moral gray zone, and it's going to try and marry those two ideas. We've talked about Tokyo Ghoul, kind of like Ken Kaneki, where he thinks ghouls are bad, people are good, and then he has to flip the script. He becomes part ghoul and realizes, oh, there's two sides to every story. I really think it's going to find a way to do that. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think this very well could have a more comical Tokyo Ghoul tone overall. where it does get very deep. It does get very serious. Now, Tokyo Ghoul doesn't have all that much comedy in it. This one, we definitely get comedy. We talked about the plunger and the poopy. It's going to be funny. But I really think it's interesting, the three societies. I think Engine's really cool. The edgy vibe is nice. Again, I talk about the jerky, risky animation movements. I like the idea. I just wish they were a bit more unique in how they do it. I want to see a little bit more about the mechanics of how the ground society works, and even more about the sphere. We see these three societies. We know they're very different. Now we've brought in the Raiders. It's kind of a fourth society. We know it's very different. But we don't really know anything about the fine-tunings of how these different societies work. And I think to really get into that moral gray area, or to have Rudo grow as a character, we are going to need to learn more about that and how that functions. I'm really curious about the Black Hand. I don't know if it's going to turn into some weird conspiracy theory or Attack on Titan thing where there's the mainland and whatever else. I really don't know. I love that the supporters, so there's these supporters that help the cleaners. They essentially distract all the little guys or tidy up and different things like that while the givers take down the big beasts. And I love that they're not useless. The first one you're met with is super powerful. And that's awesome. Because it's not very often that happens. Gris is strong. Very strong, in fact. And he can hold his own. He's not somebody you have to worry about as you go throughout the show. Oh, I really, really like Jabber, the raider that we're introduced to. He's wild. He's silly. He's a bit over the top. But one of my favorite things about the show is how frank it uses language. It's something I love about Dante, where you get the, I'll let you suck my teat if you let me touch your dong. You know, with Jabber, you have him being just a masochist who genuinely loves pain. He just goes so deep into it. I have a note here that's like, careful, dude, I can only get so erect. And that's just so good. I love when they go over the top like that. I myself have a bit of an out there, kind of random dark humor. So I love making things uncomfortable or saying random shit that no one will ever hear anywhere. And I really like that character. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. We have someone new in Anime Gaiden. We have Thea has been listening to all of this anime. She's a huge fan so far. Gonna be a future boxer one day. Now we're moving on to our snack of the week. Okay, so we have Numb and spicy hot pot flavor. Lay's potato chips. Yay. Christina has been looking forward to this.
No, very nervous.
I'm not gonna smell it. Every time I smell these, sorry, I smelled it. That happens every time I smell it. I don't know why. The smell is just always so strong. Okay, it tastes like spicy chicken noodles.
Yeah.
Mr. Noodles, the spicy chicken. That's it. It's not that spicy. It's definitely not numbing. I don't mind it. I don't love it. I would honestly just eat spicy chicken noodles if I wanted that flavor. Okay, that was kind of boring. I'll give it like a 6.
Oh.
I don't know, Brandon. You don't like spicy food?
I don't.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of my childhood lunches. But yeah, well, we won't get into that one now, but we will get into Rent-a-Girlfriend Season 4. Okay, I'm just going to get something out of the way with Rent-a-Girlfriend real fast. I literally, my first note is just rubs one out, episode 1. There's something, My Dress Up Darling does it a little bit more gentle and just kind of hints at it. But I kind of love the fact that in Rent-a-Girlfriend, the man's literally just always rubbing one out. And it's like
a full trash bin, too.
Yeah, and then it's like blatantly obvious. In this season, you have the man's grandma coming through the night after you just saw a full trash can of tissue.
He runs out of tissue, so he goes and gets not just one box of tissue,
6 boxes.
but like a jumbo pack, like a 6 box of tissue.
Man ran to Costco just for tissues for fat. I actually love it. Again, I love that off the cuff stuff. It's so good. I started watching this, and I started watching My Dress Up Darling originally at the same time, and I compared the two for obvious reasons. At first, I loved My Dress Up Darling a lot more.
Yeah.
It was more interesting, had more dynamic to it. It was a little bit deeper. Things were happening. There was more moving parts that were kind of intricate, let's say. The storytelling was different. Now I'm all about Rent-a-Girlfriend. And I say that partly because, as I spoke of in our previous episode, My Dress Up Darling Season 2 is just kind of slow. There's not a lot going on. It's struggling to keep my attention, though the latest episode was pretty decent. Whereas Rent-a-Girlfriend, this season is extremely repetitive with the, are we going to confess our feelings? It's happening every 5 seconds, which is a bit much. It's really beating that drum, but it's also a dumpster fire that you can't stop watching. I'm not a reality TV guy.
But it's like reality TV.
But Too Hot to Handle Season 1 came out, and I was there. Right?
I'm sad.
And I have a very similar feeling when I'm watching Rent-a-Girlfriend as I did with Too Hot to Handle Season 1, where it's like, what are you going to do?
You're for it.
It's the same thing. At first, I fucking hated Ruka. And Christina, I know you still hate
She's so
Ruka.
annoying. Her and, was it Mami?
Yeah.
Get under my skin.
I
want to punch them both in the face.
I'm here for it.
You want to do it for a season.
No.
Fine. But it just feels like it's dragging out for too long. Why the fuck does Mommy even give a shit? She's the original ex-girlfriend. Wasn't even interested, but now that she can't have him, she's all for it. She wants to stir the pot of shit. Get over it. Move on. I don't give a shit about you. And then Ruka, it's just, oh my god. It's a trial basis, trial over. Accept that he dumped you and move on.
Man's on a 1.5-year trial basis relationship. That when he breaks up with her, she says no, and he says okay. Anyway, what I love about Ruka is, first off, you gotta feel bad for her. She's a young girl. She fell in love. The guy loves somebody else, and she's trying to push her agenda as best she can. You gotta root for her a little bit. Kind of feel bad for her in some degrees. No. It's a little bit much once he officially breaks up with her and she says no.
But then she crosses the line with the condom. That's just...
Yeah, that was wild. My first writes on it, signs it. He's like, that was so good. But what I love about her is she has an agenda. She knows what she wants and she goes for it. And she knows the shit she's causing, and I'm just here for it. I love it so much.
Yeah, I swear.
Mami, I'm always interested in Mami because I haven't really explained this. And Mami, you're right. You don't know why she's doing what she's doing. Is it just to be like a see you next Tuesday? I don't know. What's always thrown me off about Mami was partly the dead eyes, and then it was the texting. Who's she texting? Because early on, those texts were...
Right.
They were calling her trashy. They were negative texts to her. And then they just changed to her asking about certain things, right? So... It's always confused me. It's always left kind of this air of mysterious vibe around Mami. And because of that, I'm just always very intrigued with what she's going to do. Thea knows the answer. She just won't tell me.
You know how it's going to end.
We've got no Sumi this season. Sumi's an adorable character, but she also doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Now, when we're talking where this goes, obviously Kazuya self-sabotages like a mofo. Yeah. I'm kind of done with it. I really do just want something to move.
Something needs to happen.
There was a lot of constant, I'm going to do it.
I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it. No.
What I will say is a little bit different is this time it seems Chizuru knows he's going to do it and she's stopping him from doing it a lot of the time.
Yes.
So that's interesting. Things are definitely moving, but I feel like we spent 3 episodes too much with the same, are they going to do it? No.
Yeah, it was very repetitive. It's been all
season. Yes. At the beginning, it was a lot, but whatever. Yeah. We had a big break of it with the whole filming thing, right? So it was okay. But now it's just being
they need to just rip the Band-Aid off already. The way that the last episode ended was, it's going to finally happen.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they're all on vacation together because Grandma be up to some scheming over here.
Yeah, and Ruka and Mami might work together and coerce something.
Team up against Chizuru,
It's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, I get it, but we're in season 4 now. We know Kazuya. We've seen this trick. So not only have we seen these things, sure, we got a small break at the end of season 3, but we've seen these things, and now you're just repeating them.
Yeah, it's
like crazy, over
new.
And over and over and over again. And it's like, man, we get it. Kazuya self-sabotages. We get it. Chizuru is starting to struggle with her feelings for Kazuya and her professional life and acting career. Whatever. It's kind of being that drum. I'm actually enjoying the chaos caused by Riku more than anybody else right now. That's the only thing I'm enjoying about the show right now. It's just the dumpster fire that it is.
It really is.
The grandma's awesome.
Yeah, I'm here for the grandma.
But I just kind of want it to move on.
The chaos that she's causing without knowing that she's causing it? Or does she know that she's causing it? She have a secret agenda.
Yeah, we're definitely at the point where it's like, okay, you guys haven't really changed anything with our main characters in a while, or we know that there's an ask that's going to happen, and you're trying way hard to tease us. Stop giving me the tip, give me the whole dang schlong. You know what I mean? Really, come on. And well lubricated, just give it to me. If anything, now you're just drying me.
All you're doing is a metaphor.
So the side characters are kind of holding it together for me by far right now. Obviously, there's a lot of idiot fan service, but that's just anime to a large degree. And that's definitely not the worst. Yeah, I really like it. If we forgot to rate Gachiakuta, I'd give it a solid. Right now, I'm going to say 8,000. It's good. I see lots of potential,
Yeah.
but it hasn't shown me anything that's like, holy this is amazing yet.
I would probably put it around 7.5. It is good, but we're only a couple episodes in, so I think I need to see a bit more to see where it is going. It kind of seems a bit predictable where it's going with the dad.
Very typical shonen.
Yeah.
If I were to talk new anime that we're watching this season, I think Gachiakuta has a better chance of being a really good anime. Like there's a 70-80% chance that it's going to turn into this really great overall anime. Whereas when I look at Lord of Mysteries, I think there's a 40% chance that it's going to turn into an amazing anime. However, I think that the potential of Lord of Mysteries is significantly higher. If that 40% chance takes off and they do everything right with Lord of Mysteries, it'll rank higher in my book than Gachiakuta doing everything right. I just think it's more intricate. It's got more going on. They need to get a little bit more specific with their telling the stories and everything. We need to know more of what's going on, but that one catches my intrigue a lot more. Whereas you're right, I find Gachiakuta it's really good. I really like it, but it is kind of just following the same shonen pattern. Rent-a-Girlfriend season 4. If I'm being critical, I have to give it like a 3,000. But if I'm going just off of sheer enjoyment, I only spend 20% of the episodes actually enjoying the episode at this point because of the redundancy of it.
Yeah.
But that 20%, I'm here for it. 10% there. So if I'm going about emotion of how much I want to see what happens, I think this one is the one where I'm most excited to be like, oh, I want to see what happens. Don't tell me. I want to see it. But I've heard that it has a pretty crazy ending in the manga. I'm like, no, don't say anything. It really does feel like that dumpster fire that I just want to finish it. So as much as Lord of Mysteries is my favorite new thing that I'm watching, I think that Rent-a-Girlfriend is the one that I'm most excited for the outcome currently.
Yeah. I would probably put it around a 5. I'm tired of the repetitiveness. I just want it to be resolved and move forward. It's the same thing every single episode. Willy, won't he? Someone just nut up and do it. Just do it.
I totally agree. In fact, I can't agree enough. So, that's it for today, guys. Next week, we will be going over The Rising of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hero Season 4, Dr. Stone, Science Future Part 2, and then we're going to try to double down for a little while to get caught up on the summer season, so that way we can start the fall season as it starts in October. So we're going to try to get out Sakamoto Days Part 2 and Bullet. I can't wait to talk with Dr. Stone. I think so far that's probably the strongest season as a whole of what we're watching. Although Sakamoto Days Season 2 is doing really, really good things too.
Yes.
Just started watching Bullet. So I'm going to keep my comments to myself entirely on that one. Have a good week, guys.